Lord saved me way back in 1977 as I was studying in the Mindanao University at the heart of the Muslim area, the Marawi city. A missionary, by definition, is a man with a mission. And my mission sometimes, people think you want to go out to change the world. No, we cannot change the world. Christ can change the world. So the mission is to tell about Christ to as many people as we can in so short a time. So that gives me that sense of urgency, and that gives me the motivation why we are in the ministry for this many years now, since 1984 up to the present. I was saved during the time in the Philippines where Marcos was the dictator. And the situation in our country is so bad politically that I was influenced by the young men that would like to see Marcos go. So there was this hatred, anger in my heart, rebellion against anything. But then I heard the gospel preached, and the Lord in His grace saved me. I experienced the change. I was never the same again. Just changed the way how I look at things. And I soon realized if the Lord was able to change me, then He can do the same with other people. So actually, we not only change, we desire to change the government, but in fact, even if you change the government and the people are not changed, nothing will happen. And Christ is changing men, and I experienced that. So it has become my passion. It's like, here's a realistic mission. Tell them about the Lord. It happens to me, it will happen to anybody. And that's my simple understanding. After I become Christian, and because of that I become involved in the student ministry while I was in college. And eventually, when I graduated, I know for sure, deep in my heart, I was called by the Lord for full-time ministry. But I am the eldest of 8. I have to finish college so that I can support my siblings. But then when my brother graduated college, immediately I went to see him and I told him, take care of the next, because I'm resigning from my job. I am going to study and become a missionary. This was 1984. What makes me different? I don't think I have anything different, except that I look at everything we have as a tool for God to use in the work of missions. And I look at my personal dreams or ambitions as subservient to the purposes of God, and to be willing to give that up if it run contrary to what the Lord would like us to do. So 7,000 islands, we have 178 different dialects, and we are now 97 million people. The landmass area is a little larger than the area of the whole California. You only have 30 million, we are now 97. 85% of our people are Roman Catholics. The rest will be divided into the different other religions. But Islam is now like 5 to 7%. More than half of the Muslims are in Mindanao. And that's where we are at, in Mindanao. time of in our country where freedom of religion is very much in place. So if ever we have religious restrictions, it will be the hostility of the Muslims, the hostility of the Roman Catholics. And so funny, even from among Christian denominations that do not believe the doctrines of grace, they consider us as not one of them. But overall, the Lord has given us so much liberty in preaching the Word of God and teaching it. And wherever we go, we actually can see the work of God changing the hearts of people. The 28 churches that we planted, it's limited to those who were planted by Sola Gracia missionaries. But with many pastors we trained, many of them, because of the doctrines of grace, were kicked out of their denominations. But they are glad because now they can start new churches where they can nurture doctrinally what they're learning from the scriptures. And so there will be, it will be conservatively saying that more than 100 new churches were planted because of the result of the mobile school. The mother church in Cagayan de Oro has planted 28 churches. And from the mother church also come out the ministry of the mobile school of theology and ministry where we train pastors. After 10 years, we have actually trained more than 500 pastors already. And as an offshoot of the mobile school, we were able to start the Sola Gracia Theological Seminary. And now even the seminary has grown to have 2 extension campuses in different parts of the country. So I lead the Sola Gracia Ministries Incorporated, which is involved in church planting ministry, mobile school, seminary, and pretty soon we are going to start medical mission outreach. Pastors and their families are normal people. In the Philippines, the economy is so low. Even the current support we're giving to missionaries are actually way below poverty line. So the struggle, not only of myself, but of the rest of our pastors, is how we'd be able to support normally our families, especially sending our children to school, high school, college. But again, it's a challenge of the faith where you believe that God is the one who called you. You are no man's employee, but God is your employer, and God will provide. We strongly believe that, and God has proven Himself to be faithful. But that's one area. A second area of struggle will be going to places where you do not know anyone, but simply believing that the Lord has called you to go in that particular place and share the word. Again, we are persuaded that if God sends us to one place, then God is already ahead of us, and He will accomplish the task even without us. We started to associate with the churches in Cagayan de Oro, and just find out that the word of the Lord, even in the pulpit, is so distorted. It grieves our heart. So finally, May of 2002, I told my wife, we're going to start service in our own, even if it's only you and the children. The church plant I have, where the seminary is, I used to pastor a church that is close to 500 people. When we started the church in Pamugsukan, where the seminary is, it's so disconcerting, so depressing to be standing before 5-7 men and thinking, Lord, you're putting me in this place, and even the place where they sit down is the stump of a coconut tree. 7 men, 5 sometimes. But the Lord grows the church, and now we are more than 60 adults in the church. We baptize them in rivers, we baptize them in creeks. Now we have a little luxury. We have a swimming pool in the property where we can bring the new converts and baptize them. So the 28 churches, the Lord is saving people that goes to these churches, and it will be a common thing for one of our pastors to pastor 3 churches in different places. That's why we provide the motorcycles, so that they can move around quickly. Number one that encourages me is the Lord Himself. It's when you are captivated with the glory of God that it propels you to do, it motivates you to do what the Lord wants you to do, no matter how hard it is. Now, going back to the struggles, we have health issues. My wife has health problem. I have health problem. I am diabetic. My liver is already almost gone totally because of my other illness. They are supposed to operate and take my spleen away and my gallbladder, but miraculously, the last month of August, the Lord healed me. They were surprised, the doctors, when they put me in the operating table. They went inside, they do this procedure they call endoscopy, and they found out that I am clean inside, in spite of the 4 internal bleedings that I have. In a very definitive act, that's the reason why we are starting the medical outreach. And my son, for years, we've been praying, and that the Lord will grant us this medical mission. And my son just passed the board exam. He is a medical doctor now. And so now we can start. And my youngest son is already graduating in pre-med, and by June of next year he will be in medical school. 5 more years, the 2 of them. We sent another from the family to study midwifery. We have pastors' wives who are midwives and in the medical profession, that we are organizing the medical mission. This coming December 18 will be our first medical outreach to the tribal peoples, the Tibuli people. Lots of things. Number 1, prayer. Number 2, prayer. Number 3, prayer. Materially, though, we have 2 pastors right now in Tagum City and in Butuan City. they don't have a place to stay. One is currently being adopted by one church there. His family stayed in the extension of their building. The other one has truly, even the house that we are supposed to rent is now given to somebody else. So we are praying that we can build a parsonage for them. That's a priority that we have in the next 6 months.
Your glorious cause, oh God, engages our hearts. May Jesus Christ be known wherever we are. We ask not for ourselves, but for your renown. The cross has saved us, so we pray, your kingdom come. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done, so that everyone might know your name. Let your song be heard everywhere on earth, till your sovereign work on earth is done. Let your kingdom come. Give us your strength, oh God, and courage to speak. Perform your wondrous deeds through those who are weak. Lord, use us as you want, whatever the test. By grace we'll preach your gospel till our dying breath. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done, so that everyone might know your name. Let your song be heard everywhere on earth, till your sovereign work on earth is done. Let your kingdom come. Let your song be heard everywhere on earth, till your sovereign work on earth is done. Let your kingdom come. Let your kingdom come. Let your will be done, so that everyone might know your name. Let your song be heard everywhere on earth, till your sovereign work on earth is done. Let your kingdom come. 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 Let your kingdom